check, 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 check.
Check, check.
Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check. Check it, check, 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 check it, check, check it, check it, check it, check. Can you guys hear me? Check it, check it, check it, check it, check. Alright, guess no one can hear me. Alright, now let's get going, guys. Hey. Let's see if my glasses will stay on even though they're broken so I can see some stuff. Alright. What's going on, guys? What's going on? We got some stuff going on today. Already. Tornado warning. Just to the southeast of downtown Denver, Colorado. Take a look at it. Radar indicated. Looks like it could have a little bit of a hail core going through eastern Denver out towards just past Aurora over towards Watkins, Colorado. And there, yeah, look at that, look at that, look at that. There's rotation. That's a funnel cloud right there. I don't know if the tornado's on the ground, but like I always say, yeah, there's probably, I don't want to say probably, but it looks to me like there is a funnel on the ground, regardless of if there is, or tornado on the ground, regardless of if there is or there isn't. Treat it like there is, and if you're out ahead of this, get in a safe spot. It doesn't look like there's much out here. Harrington Ranch Airport. Headed towards Bennett. So take that seriously. All right, and our main event obviously has not begun today. We're thinking a little bit closer to 4 o'clock Central. We do have some strong thunderstorms moving through northeastern Oklahoma. We don't have our main LJ out here, our main dry line setup, so not expecting this to be majorly severe, but it is 60-mile-per-hour winds and $50 size hail, and that's being extended, but it does not look like any tornadic activity in these severe warnings. Looks good. So, yeah. Yep. Along this corridor right here, let's call it this corridor right here, we could see storms firing up. Yeah, anywhere within, I mean, really within the next hour, we'll say, just to be on the safe side, within the next hour, probably at least 2 hours for you guys out there, but you never know. Sometimes the stuff does, the weather does weird stuff. What's going on? 124 people in here already. What's going on? I already got 2 new follows. I didn't do much. Thank you, guys. Okay, I'm going to answer all your guys' questions. Just give me a second. I need a Red Bull. This is going to be a quicker stream. Maybe 30, 40 minutes because I'm getting back on a little bit later when the event starts unfolding. So got some stuff I'm going to do before that, but I wanted to hop on and give everyone updates. Do I talk too quickly? Does anyone in chat want me to slow down? What's going on, Samantha? Ooh, appreciate the follows, guys. Thank you. Bree, I appreciate that. Yo, from OKC, what's going on? So, guys, I got something cool to tell you. I'll be talking about this, but have you guys seen the Netflix documentary Twister? I think it was the one about the Joplin tornado. Have you guys seen that? Okay, so the head meteorologist in Joplin who was working that day in Joplin when that tornado hit, Doug Hetty, he's been awesome. I've had conversations with him. He's kind of trying to do his thing on social media, kind of with content and reach people like this, whatever, through different platforms. And so, but he is extremely knowledgeable and more than anything, experience. That's what he brings to the table. I've never worked for, like a news meteorology or a news station doing weather and stuff like that actually in the industry. I've been doing it from this side. So I'm really interested to see. Anyways, I've been talking to him and I asked him, yeah, he was in that Netflix documentary. I asked him, could I do an interview with you and have the climate crew or have my community give me all the questions they want from how it is working in the industry. Where do we think it's going? Are things improving? Are things not improving? All sorts of questions. So I'm going to get questions from everyone in my community, and we're going to do a good little interview with him. And he's obviously seen some stuff. So just to get his perspective, because he was, I believe, a head meteorologist in Joplin, Missouri for a couple decades. So that'd be cool. If you do want access to Discord, just remember it's just YouTube members get access to the Discord and subs. Then you'll be part of the climate crew in there. It's just $2.99 a month. Let's get going. Let's do it. Yeah, B, it'll be cool. So I'll have everyone ask any questions. We'll probably do the interview this week. This weekend I'm gonna do it with Mesomat as well. So it's gonna be all three of us. Thanks, B. I got kicked from the Discord, I think. I have not kicked. Yeah, people have been saying I haven't kicked anyone from the Discord. If you did the free, because it's $2.99 a month. When I first launched the Discord, I was trying to push it out, and I let like 150 people in for free. I wanted to build the community right away. I don't care about the money. It costs money to run this stuff, but now it's $2.99 a month. So some people were like in the free trial, or their subscription dropped off, and then after 2 weeks after your subscription drops off, then it takes away access from the Discord. So now I do obviously invite some people into that Discord, and there's no subscription requirement. But if anything, that's probably what happened. But I'll have to figure that out. What I want to do is allow most of the Discord to be seen by everyone, so you don't have to pay any money, any subscription, all the important stuff, tornado warnings, all the severe weather updates, to be able to be seen by everyone without a subscription, and then just subgate the stuff that, the more interesting stuff that I'm putting a lot of work in for the community. So, but we'll see. I'm learning. So, Nikki, what's your thoughts on Tuesday? Yep. Let's talk, guys. Today, Monday and Tuesday look crazy. We're gonna get into that. Haven't watched it yet. Matt LeBlanc was a meteorologist during the 2011 outbreaks. He is so good. Yeah. Yep. They saw some stuff. Any rain reaching upper Florida? It's so hot. Yeah, let's go quickly over to Pivotal Weather, and let me show you guys what's about to happen today. I will quickly, just because you asked, let's just take a look at the total quantitative precipitation here over about the next week. Florida's not really getting much, if anything. Maybe the Everglades might get some stuff, which is good, but Florida's not looking like it's getting much. We can see where all that rain is. This blue and stuff, this is like not even an inch of rain. We'll have to watch some flash flooding concerns, obviously, in these areas here. So maybe up here, too, because we got the mountains. Some mountains up there. Lauren, I appreciate you. B, Brett, Julie. Really quickly, I actually forgot. I did want to show you this. The 18Z's out. This is a good data set since it's the 18Z with the HRRR. Let's take a look. Oh, my gosh. I hope this is downtrended, if I'm being honest, because, guys, I said it in my video today, 100% high potential. I don't know if SBC is going to go high. I just know to me, it's my opinion that what we've been seeing today could go high. And look at this. It could. It could. Isolate it, supercell, 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 isolate it, supercell. They're a lot more dangerous when they're isolated and not embedded in the squall line, because then they have to share that energy from the updrafts, and it can get a little congested in there. You're not always going to have a clean inflow region. These could all be your cyclical hook echo wedge tornadoes. I'm not saying we're about to have 20 wedge tornadoes, guys. I'm just saying this is a little bit of it's a bad look. It's a dangerous look. That's all I'm saying. I just want people to know. I don't want to scare anyone. I just want people to know this is we could go high on this. I'm not gonna say we're not gonna I'm not gonna promise you that's gonna happen. I don't know, but we could. Has Pivotal Weather? No, we probably had. No, we haven't gotten that. Did we get an update? Let me go check NOAA real quick. Yeah. Oh, the nature is crazy. Yeah, Oklahoma, we've seen originally, it wasn't looking like, let's look at our mesoscale discussions real quick, guys. It wasn't looking like this was going to be too bad for Oklahoma. Things have changed. Might get a little more initiation down there. Thunderstorms expected to develop along the dry line between 20 to 22. Watch issuance likely. So, okay, 20 to 22. 8 to 10. I'm guessing they're using... I've never seen them put it like that up there. 20 to 22. That's fine. Oh, they're talking about 20 to 22Z. So, we're talking about afternoon, late afternoon into early evening. Interesting. Okay. This is mainly going to be a hail threat down here. Hail and wind down here in Texas. But if we go to our other mesoscale discussion, I think... Yep, this one right here. Watch likely severe storms developing... Sorry. Developing over Colorado after 21Z. So that's going to be around 4 p.m. After 4 p.m., like I said, into Nebraska and Kansas through the evening with tornado, hail, and wind risk. Specifically, tornado. Look at these wind barbs. These are whipping. And this is the LLJ, lower level jet, 850 millibar. We're going to have upper level winds moving this way, lower level winds moving this way. That's going to cause rotating supercells. But that's not the only region you need to pay attention to. So let's quickly go into here, guys, and let's take a look at tornado. This obviously 5% still a decent threat. So don't just pay attention to this, but specifically, if you're in here or out to the east of here, slightly out to the east, this is the direction these storms are going to be moving. The northern section, these storms are likely going to be moving more to the northeast. The southern section are likely going to be moving more east-northeast, because imagine this being like a tail that's whipping around with the low pressure out here. This stuff's going to be whipping up to the northeast. This stuff's going to be whipping out a little bit more like that. So storms aren't all going to be moving east or north, just north and east. Some are even going to be moving south as we get down here with that tail, or southeast. But yeah, this is a 15% hatch risk for tornadoes. EF2 plus long track violent tornadoes. So we'll have to see if they go high. Hurricane season is going to be off the charts. We've been hitting 90s. Or yeah, and we're expected to remain in an Enzo neutral, which is where we've seen most of our worst hurricane seasons, especially that 2004 to 2009, Katrina, Ivan, Charlie, Wilma, all the bad ones. Lauren, Brett again, Queen of Jupiter, Scorpion Lady, Brett, Jennabug. I appreciate you guys. Texas, there is a threat in Texas. Let's push it a little bit farther down there. You guys do have a threat in Texas, including the DFW. Who knows? They might shove this enhance over. I think if we get a high, the moderate's going to extend and the enhance going to extend to include DFW. But who cares if you're in a slight or an enhanced? These risk zones, these are guidance. They're never going to be perfect. We're trying to predict the future here with data, with good data, but it's never going to be perfect. We live in, I always say it, but our real state of air that is on planet Earth is the second most variable real state of air in our entire galaxy, solar system, behind Jupiter's atmosphere. I think that's what they say. So no one actually knows unless you're maybe God himself. So don't be like, I'm not too worried. Actually, I'm right outside the enhanced. We don't know. Maybe this should be like this. It's impossible for us to tell. It's just guidance. There's support to be storm. There's supposed to be storms in Weatherford, Texas today. Can you check? It's hard for me when people just name cities. I'd rather people say northern Texas, eastern Texas, southern Texas, central Texas, western Texas, northeastern Texas, because when I have to go into specific cities, if it's not a major one, which I think I do know where Weatherford is, but then that takes time, and weather isn't usually held into a very small town or city. It's usually a regional type of event. But yeah, so that's Dallas-Fort Worth area. Yeah, you guys are in that 5% tornado risk. So if we did, but I know people just want to know where they live, so it's not a big deal. It doesn't make me angry or anything. It's just harder for me to respond quick, which I want to try to answer as many questions as I can. Yeah, here we go. So getting into, this is an 18Z, getting into around 7 p.m. Central, 8, 9, 10. So we really need to watch down here, I'd say between 6 p.m. Central. Well, could be earlier than that. 5 p.m. Central all the way through at least 11. Just to be safe. Yeah, thanks, V. Blaine, NTX, what's going on? What conditions do you need for long track tornadoes? How can you tell the possibility? Well, you just look at the instability. You know, there's a bunch of stuff we looked at out here. Long track typically is more likely when you have an isolated cell, which we know we're going to have it based on what our models are showing us. And yeah, I'll talk about Tennessee in a second for tomorrow and the next day or Tuesday. Yeah, but we can see we have some isolated cells here. There's a ton of stuff right here in the models that are screaming at us that this is going to be a bad day for severe weather. So, or dangerous day for severe weather. Dry line. This is tons of lift along this sector. You've got dry air running into very moist air. This moist air will always be forced up, and the dry air will sink under. This is going to cause kind of mass ascent and lift along this boundary likely. And as long as there's not a warm pocket of air above that air parcel on the surface, it's going to rise. And then that moisture is going to condense and release what we call latent heat. And that is what gasoline is for a car. It's the fuel for the storms to trek on and trek on and trek on. The more of that latent heat they have, and the more flow they have from their mid-level jet right here, which we have the winds there that we need for it, and the low-level jet, which, look at that. Right above the surface, we're getting close to 60 knot winds. That's going to be around 75 mile per hour winds, sustained winds, hurricane force, you know, a few thousand feet above our heads. So in that situation, you can expect potentially long track. We never know for sure if we're going to get long track, but that's on the table. You can also take a look at the energy helicity index here. Actually, I want to look at the updraft helicity, 0 to 3 kilometers. So this is right near the surface. You guys know what that is? These are possible supercell tracks, tornado tracks today. Look at this one. Look at this one. Look at this. And you can see the instability in them. Okay, so I mean this this is I can't take a sounding at that time, but this is not good, obviously. Scars, you know, basically all over the map. So we have to pay close attention today. We're not getting a break. Yeah, okay, people keep asking about Monday, Tuesday. I'll quickly go over that. Like I said, this is going to be a quicker stream because I'm going to be getting back on in a couple hours. So I got some stuff I got to get done. Yes, today, oh my gosh, guys, this is the latest. If you're in here, everyone in here, please take this seriously. And if you're close in the surrounding areas, right? You never know. You never know. Storms can fire off, and these could long track and move out of the boundary. You never know. Just I'm trying to give you a general area. What's going on, MK? And then here we go. Oh, okay. Latest HRRR. Latest HRRR for Monday. We're seeing supercells potentially through this whole region here. Okay, so Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas are going to get involved. The DFW out to Texarkana, northeastern Texas, central to eastern Oklahoma, central to eastern Kansas, and eastern Nebraska. You guys could all get involved. Let's get in a little bit closer here for tomorrow and take a look at it. Here we go. You see this tonight, basically, into the early morning. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Some of these, I mean, this thing wants to track all the way almost to Kentucky tonight, right? Like, we got to pay attention outside these boundaries, too. That would be crazy. Look at this. And then all the way through Tennessee. And then that's, okay, what is going on here? Whoa. Is Matt on? Does anyone know if Mesomat's on? I got to ask him a question. Why is this the longest tracking supercell I've ever seen in my life? It's the same one. Why does it track from Kansas to South Carolina? Okay, let me call him real quick. I mean, yeah, it's probably not going to happen like this. It never does, but I guess it kind of breaks apart there. Any bad storms for DFW today? Austin to go? Possibly. Hey, why? Wait, did you see my stream? Oh yeah, I am on stream. Why do we have a supercell tracking from Kansas through Missouri, through Kentucky, into Tennessee, into South Carolina on the 18Z HER?
don't know what the 18Z's doing.
That's probably not gonna.
Tornado on the ground in Colorado?
That would shatter all. That's probably not gonna happen. That would shatter all records. Yeah, I did see it, and there's actually a good couplet there. Let me
There is.
let me remind my chat, guys. Just out to the east of Denver and Aurora, Colorado, heading up towards Bennett, Colorado, up into the northeast. We do have a looks like tornado on the ground. So get somewhere safe if you're up there.
The new warning back to radar indicated. I don't know why CC is not showing up on
Yeah.
WSG3. What's it doing? Yeah, I saw that run a minute ago. I was looking at it. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. I still think highs possible today. It looks crazy, man. Kansas looks insane.
I want to see.
At the 00Z.
Risk pretty significantly.
Yeah. I mean, at the 00Z, this is a 01Z. And these are all isolated. They got the whole sky to themselves.
I still think 5's coming. A 5's coming potentially. We'll see.
They're going to be hooks. Okay, yeah, I'll talk to you a little bit later.
Sounds good.
So, yeah. Matt will be on a little bit later, guys. He'll be covering the entire event. So I'm going to cover as much as I can. I'm going to get off here in a little bit, come back on and cover it. But he'll be covering when I get off. Okay, yeah, so this looks pretty crazy for tomorrow as well. It doesn't look as bad as today's event. But let's take a quick look at Tuesday. People keep asking about Tuesday. The 18Z is loading. We're going to have to go back to the 12Z, but that's fine. We're going to go down here into the Ohio Valley. And this has looked really bad on the Rufus before, so let's see what it looks like now. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. This looks like a high risk on the Rufus, but the Rufus usually gives us a worst case scenario, but this looks like a 5 out of 5 high risk on the Rufus. The NAM 3K and HRRR might not show this, but yeah, everyone. Okay. So, and if this played out the way it did, it'd be like the last time. There'd be a morning threat, an afternoon threat, and an evening threat. So, an all-day type situation here. Yeah. I think today might go high, and then we're gonna have moderate. We maybe just enhance. I don't know. Tomorrow's downtrended a tiny bit, but I don't know. Instability still favoring the South. Oklahoma, Kansas. More today. You know, I'm concerned. Yeah. So let's look at our SIG-TOR potential on the HRRR. Sorry, I got to look at my Discord. I know people might be asking questions. I told you guys I'd answer in there. Oh, okay, nothing in there yet. Good. Let's look at the HRRR. Let's quickly look at our SIG-TOR. Let's see. Yeah, so this right here to me, that's our most dangerous pocket. You don't just look at SIG-TOR and look at where these bright pinks are, but also look at this sharp line. This is gonna be a strong lift boundary as well. You see, we're a little bit more congested down here over Oklahoma. We're not so sure about what's gonna happen down there, but as we get into the evening, it does get a little crazy. So we still need to watch this. Kansas still looks to be the main target. You see how it's like splitting, like Oklahoma's on the 18, or sorry, that's the 12Z. Let's go back. Let's see. See, it was splitting, and now central to northern Oklahoma, you get involved, potentially south central too. This looks to me like it would barely dodge. I mean, this looks to me like Tulsa. OKC would be okay. Tulsa wouldn't. But it's so close, we don't know what's going to happen. Every single person, I would say, at least from the DFW all the way up through northern Nebraska needs to be paying attention to this. And then directly out to the east, western Arkansas, western Missouri, western Iowa. Anything, like, there's so... Let's look at our surface-scape, for instance, which is our updraft potential, basically, our instability. It just pumps through the other day. I mean, Oklahoma specifically is where our greatest instability is. But I mean, you have a sharp line of instability right here, and this is going to be kind of promoted by that really, really sharp dry line that we have. Yeah, someone said Denver, Colorado. Yeah, let's go back and take a look at that. Here's our tornado warning on the ground. Observed tornado. Expires in 15 minutes. Let's take a look if we still think it's on the ground. Look at that. That might be it right there. Not 100% sure. It's hard to tell, but looks like it's moving up into the middle of nowhere. There could be some homes up here. So if you are up here to the north and to the northeast of Bennett, bottom floor of your home, in a closet, in a bathroom, in a storm shelter, in a basement, please. There is still a couplet. Yeah, look at that couplet, guys. We might still have this on the ground, and it is moving just to the north of Bennett, Colorado, about to the east of Aurora and Denver, Colorado. Weird little tornado. And this is what I'm talking about today, guys. This is on the boundary of the 2%. And that looked like, at least at one point, maybe still, we had a strong tornado on the ground. So don't focus right here, like where it's like the scary red and yellow and hatched. You don't know for sure. One of our team members about to start storm chasing right now. Nice. There's gonna be a lot of chasers out here today. Let's see if there's any here on Radar Omega. All in Kansas, right where we'd expect them to be. Let's see how it's looking. A little cloudy. Spooky. Spooky, spooky, spooky. Isaac, I appreciate you. Brett, I appreciate you. Green. Taylor, my friend is currently fleeing Bennett to stay with me because of that tornado. Yeah, it's moving off to the north of Bennett now, which is good. It's moving away. Today might be one of those days. Stay where we're in any risk zone. Exactly. I'm scared this has the potential to be one of those days we talk about for a long time. Hopefully not. But the potential is there. Yeah. Okay, he just went live. Mezzo Matt is live, everyone. I think what I might do, guys, I know tons of people have questions. MESOMATT is live right now. He has a ton of mods in his chat that answer questions too that he can't answer because it's a lot to answer everyone's questions. I'm going to be back on in a couple hours. He's on right now. I quickly just want to remind you guys, and I'm going to show you this. This is extremely important for today. This is the latest HRRR model, our arguably best short-range model. Here we go. Look what happens as we get into right there. 5 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Central. Storms start to form along this dry line. Big boundary here. Like I said, storms in the center of this will likely be moving more eastward. Up here, they'll be moving more northeastward. Down here, they'll be moving more east-southeastward. Okay, so know where you are. East Oklahoma, east-northeast Kansas, east-southeast Texas. And watch as we move forward in time here. Big event. You get storms just to the north of OKC. There's a ton of instability in and around OKC Metro. If the cap does not hold, you guys could be looking at a big tornado risk as well, so pay attention there. And it's looking pretty decent down here from Abilene all the way up through the DFW and then pushing out east. We could have a nocturnal threat out here. Including western, central to northern, western Louisiana, western Arkansas, western Missouri, and western, especially southwestern Iowa tonight. We could have a nocturnal threat. Everything's on the board here, including semi-truck size hail. I'm kidding, it's not semi-truck size hail, but it's going to be large hail potential, guys. This is basically a high risk for hail, 45%. This is basically, from any point in this pink, there is a 50-50 chance that there is gorilla hail, 4-inch plus hail. This includes Wichita, El Dorado, Newton, McPherson, Hutchinson, Great Bend, Russell, Larned, Hayes. This is all Kansas. Dodge, close to Dodge City, Medicine Lodge, Anthony, Arkansas City, Ponca City, Enid. Big hail. And just because you're outside the pink doesn't mean much. We have a moderate to slight hatched hail as well. You could get up to 4-inch size hail or bigger there as well too. So lots of stuff. I'm going to be back on a little later. Mesomat is on. Show Mesomat some love. MESOMATT. Not only will he answer your question, but the mods in the chat, they're all trained, part of his team. They'll answer your questions as well, and I'll be back on a little bit later. I appreciate you guys being in here. I had exactly 69 followers during this live, so that's awesome. That's a great number. And all right, everyone have a great time and be safe, and I will be back on a little bit later. Oh, you guys ruined it. 71 now. Okay. Have a great day, guys. Like I said, hour 2, I will be back on here for a couple hours covering this event as it unfolds. Stay safe, stay weather alert. Don't just trust the sirens. Have multiple ways to